guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today Machi and I are back with a back to basics video. Today we're having a look at your stance as a beginner, your footwork as a beginner, and also how to set up your kicks. Mostly we're going to be looking at stepping off the line for your kicks. So what I want you guys to do is grab some cones or some kind of markers for the floor, and you'll be able to use that in the class today. I just got really close today so I can show you this t-shirt that Cece made. This little Machi face. All right guys, get your markers or your cones and let's get started. All right guys, let's get started with your stance. You're not gonna really need your markers to begin with. That's for later in the class. But what I'll do is, I'm gonna put this down in the middle just so that you can see it as a center line when we talk about getting to your Muay Thai stance. All right, so Muay Thai stance. There are a couple of ways to stand in Muay Thai. The most basic, or I guess the most common one that we see with beginners when we teach them is going into a neutral stance. So you can see here, if I got a center line here, right? I don't want my feet on the line. I want to have my feet across the line. Okay, let's maybe move it across so that Machi can stay comfortably. Okay, so again, center line over here. I position my feet shoulder width apart, just across. If I am a right-hander, left leg forward. If I'm a left-hander, right leg forward, okay? So if I have my left leg forward, that's the orthodox stance, and right leg forward, southpaw stance. All right, just a quick, brief introduction to that. All right, so I'm standing again, shoulder width apart, center line is here, and feet across the center line. Now, what I want you guys to do is plant your feet super flat, right? And then now, lock your legs. So this position here, where you have stiffness, knees locked, and feet flat, is what you want to avoid completely when you're in your stance. So do the opposite of that. Knees are bent, and your weight, you're positioning your weight in the balls of your feet. You're not kind of like stiff like this either, where you're constantly up with the heels up. There's moments where you have your heel come down to the ground. When we talk about rhythm, we'll cover that. But preferably, you have your weight more pressured forward to the front parts of your feet so that you can take off and move faster when you're in your stance, all right? So let's recap. Stand at shoulder width apart. Bring your leg forward. You have your preferred or your stronger side behind you, so you can always load power on that side. So for me, I'm right-handed. Again, I have my left leg forward. Shoulder width. Use a marker for a center line so that you know that you're not standing with your feet too close together, all right? So for these mats in the gym, there's usually like jigsaw mats where you kind of meet in the middle. Use that when you're practicing forward and back when you're walking, that you know that you're not stepping across the line. All right, so we'll take away the marker. Now that we have that kind of reference, let's go back into your stance. Again, knees are soft, and I'm having pressure in the balls of my feet. What I want you guys to do now is transfer your weight from one foot to the other. When I do this, I don't want to be stiff and lock my body up this way. So if you can see from the side, if I'm stiff and I'm rocking, see how my body kind of moves as one unit forward and back? That's what I don't want in my Muay Thai stance. I want to have like kind of like a softness in the stance, and your hands circle gently back towards your head. So you're not having your hands locked up here and you're kind of going seesaw, right? Because this kind of looks like a seesaw. What I want to do is have more like a circular rhythm or like a wave-like motion in my body. All right, so I'm stepping, circling the hands softly back towards my head. So little circles. When you see from the side this way, my lead hand is a little bit further forward than my rear hand. I don't want to be this way, where I have two hands squared and my chest facing forward, right? When I face someone, my rear side's a little bit angled off to the back, and my lead hand's forward this way, so not this way. Yeah, so I'm not squared up, and I'm walking forward too squared. In your neutral stance, you're a little bit side on, and again, knees are soft, weight in the balls of your feet, going forward and back, and small little circles, hands coming back to your head. All right, so let's just stay here for a little bit. I want you guys to breathe and step, follow the movement. We're gonna add some footwork in a sec, but just get comfortable in this stance. Let's quickly talk about your front foot, guys. When you're looking at your front foot, you look down, you shouldn't have your front foot turned inwards either, yeah? So if you're coming from like more of a boxing background, sometimes this is how people start in their stance. But for Muay Thai, have your foot straight or a little bit pointed out. So have this so that's easy for me to enable like the more circular weapons like my kicks, right? So I'm here, easy to deploy my kicks if my foot's already pointing in that direction or at least straight. But from here, hard to defend kicks, right? My legs are open over here, my back's against the kick from this side, and also hard for me to kick. So I can't check and I can't go into my kick fast enough. So again, go back to the start in your stance, soft, knees, and circle over here, yeah? So here I'm kind of like not lazy in my movement either, you're quite engaged. And you're here ready to fire, ready to check, ready to move, all right? Okay, let's move on. So a little bit of footwork. Everyone go back into your stance, follow along. We're gonna take some steps forward. Let's just say 3 steps forward, 3 steps back, side and side, all right? So from here, I'll step forward, forward step, lead leg first, back leg, lead leg, back leg, all right? Reverse it, back foot, front foot, back foot, front foot, to your left, lead side, step, step, and to the rear side, which is my right side because I'm orthodox, step, and back, all right? So we're avoiding bringing our feet too close together when I walk and bring my feet too close together as I come back. When I go to the side, I don't want to bring my feet across the line or in a straight line. Always want to keep distance and width, all right? So you're always maintaining that stance. Let's do that again. So back to your rhythm, circle, circle, no stiffness. You're not going seesaw this way. Bend your knees, rhythm, rhythm, that's it. Step forward now. 2 and 3, step backwards, rear leg, 2, 3. Okay, to the lead side, step, and rear side, step across. And the whole time, try and keep your hands still moving. So you don't want to be stiff as you walk forward, right? Try and keep that circle. Circle in the arms, chin down. Catch where your hands are. Lead hands a little bit in front, rear hands back. All right? 2 and 3. Okay, one last time. Forward, back into the side. Let's go forward. 3 steps. 2, 3. Backwards. 2, 3. Step. Lead side. And rear side. Step, step, and step. Okay, one tiny bit of information about the stepping, guys. You want to try and avoid dragging your feet, all right? So if I'm stepping forward, for example, I don't want to leave my foot behind, first of all, which is why we correct that stance, but I don't want to drag my back foot with me either. See how my toes are pointing the wrong way, my hips going that way, but I'm trying to go forward? I want to always just have that engagement through my legs, and I'm stepping forward, stepping backwards, or stepping, always bring my feet with me, all right? So just a bit of basic run through your stance, and also how to position yourself and how to move in the basic movements. After that, you can add in your angles to the lead side, angle to the rear side, but that's later on once you guys get the hang of moving in that cross movement. All right, so forward, back, left, and right. Okay, let's move on. Let's grab the markers and let's talk about setting up for your kick. So these are stuff that kind of happen or come up in questions in classes. So first one was someone asking me, how do you stand in Muay Thai? Because there seems to be everyone has a different take on how you stand in Muay Thai, and it is true depending on what your strong weapons are, but when you're a beginner and you're starting out, the neutral stance is the easiest to kind of learn. Later on, as you work up what your strengths are and what your style of fighting is, you'll be able to adjust. You might have a more short stance, right? So if I'm short stance here, I'm heavy on that back leg, I can use my lead leg a lot, checking, attacking with the lead leg, switching, or I can skip into my rear attacks. If I'm more like a boxer and a leg kicker, my legs are a little bit wider, so I can throw hands and low kicks a lot. And if I'm more of like, or even with like a heavy stance forward, if I'm more forward this way, right, I can deploy my rear kick faster, okay? But for a neutral stance, you're able to move through all weapons. Neutral stance, I can pull it back for a push kick. I can step forward into a kick. I can widen into punches, and I should be able to come back again. So neutral stance to start with, and later on developing your style, you'll adjust your stance as you go. Okay. Markers. So I want you guys to position your markers. Wherever you're standing, put them in front of your feet and have them there as a guide as someone's feet in front of you, all right? So I'll just pull mine back a bit so you can see. Okay, so I've positioned mine in front of me, and what I want to do is learn how to step across for my kicks. So a lot of the time when you're starting out as a beginner for kicking, or even as intermediate, this happens all the time. You're either stepping forward towards someone's foot, or sometimes when you're rushing, you step into the middle of their feet and you try and throw a kick this way. If you can see kind of straight on right now, if I step here, I'm closing the space for my hip to turn through for my kicks, right? So it's important that we get into the habit of we're stepping off the line, right? So I'm here, I'm stepping off the line, and then from there, I'm pushing my hip through for my roundhouse kick. So just a rear kick for now. I want you guys to find your rhythm. We're gonna have rhythm, rhythm, and now we're gonna step. Okay? When I step across, I don't want to leave my head behind for my kick. So when I'm stepping across, head, and all your weight comes on top of that supporting leg. All right, just a little step, guys. Doesn't have to be a massive step across. Little step just to initiate the rear kick. So again, rhythm. We should be comfortable in our rhythm now. We're taking a little step across the line. I push, and from there, I'm going to come up and throw my kick all the way around. All right, so again, using your markers for a guide. Let's do it again. So taking a step, I want you guys to get used to, from your rhythm, you're taking a step across, and throwing your kick. Okay, so we don't want to be from here, stiff, kind of overthinking the whole thing, and then trying to kick from there. Go through rhythm. Rhythm, step, 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 and step across. Throw the kick. Okay? All right, let's do 5 more like that. So, stepping across, step, step, let's go across, step, and throw. Just make sure they're moving across. The markers should be there anyway as a guide for you. Stepping across, 4 more, step, throw. All right? Make sure your hands are swinging. Open up your chest. One thing I don't want to see, you guys, is when you're stepping across and you're kicking, you're forgetting to bring your weight forward, and it becomes more like an up kick this way. Where if I'm from the side, I look like I'm crunching down. What I want to see is opening the chest, stretching out this hip flexor, and then whipping it across, okay? So again, 3 more. Step, really try and push off that back leg, and whip it across. 2. All right, 2 more. Step, step, and go. Up. All right, and 1 more. Step, step, and step. All right, okay, so you should be comfortable with that step now, all right? Now, I'm gonna move the marker so you can see me for the switch kick, and what I wanna do is position it, let's go this way, and let's try our switch kick as well. So I'm here, just watching Machi, just sleeping in the background over there. Okay, so switch kick, exactly the same thing. When I switch my feet, I don't want to switch into the center line, right? So if I look at you guys front on, if I want to kick someone from here, if I switch, I bring my feet to the center, I'm going to lose balance as I throw, all right? I'm not going to feel like I can throw my hip all the way through the kick. But from here, and I switch, I bring it across the line, I should be able to fling my hip all the way through and develop that power as the kick goes through the trajectory of it, okay? So let's practice switch first. So in front of the cones, what I want you guys to do is just switch. And check that after you switch, your foot's outside the cone. Not in front of it's not too bad, like not the end of the world, but definitely not inside the cone or where your markers are, all right? So again, use your switch, switch across the line. Sorry, Machi. And again, and switch across, okay? 2 more, switch. And just get your hands moving. Remember, we have our rhythm step and switch. All right, I'll just position the cones this way so that I don't hit Machi, and let's go through some kicks together. Okay, so switch kick now. Let's do a couple together with our feet going across the line and throwing all the way through, all right? So rhythm first, guys. Let's go back to rhythm. Now, when I say go, we're gonna switch our feet, and we're gonna kick through. Go, pop, and through. Come closer. Okay, ready, guys? Back to your rhythm. And go. Pop. And just checking that you're going across the line, all right? Kick all the way through. Back to your rhythm straight away. Go. Pop. Same thing as the rear kick. When I switch, I don't want to leave my head backwards. I come on top of the leg, all right? So again, go. Forward and throw. Okay, come up, heels off the ground when I pivot. Let's go 1 more together. And go. Pop. All right, nice work. Okay, so we all should get that understanding of the basics. Important is just stepping across the line. All right, so if I have my cones forward again, I'll show you guys from here. So I have, review, rear kick across this way, switch kick across this way, okay? Now let's just go through 5 times just stepping. So without the actual kick itself, we're just gonna do the initiation step, all right? So rear kick first, let's go together. We're back to rhythm. And 1, step. That's all, right? 2, step and lift. That's it. 3, push off. Good. Make sure you're getting comfortable with that step. 4, step. That's it. And 5, bump. Okay, let's go switch kick. 1, just a switch. Check that your foot's outside the line. 2, switch. Good. 3, bump. 4, and 1 more. 5, bump. All right, so let's do a little exercise to wrap up everything today. You can move the markers for now. What I want you guys to do is move around your space, okay? I'll move around, Machi. So what we're gonna do is start with our neutral stance, okay? Too much. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a cue. Forward, backwards, left side, right side. Actually, we'll go lead and rear side. So lead, moving to your lead side, rear towards the rear side, okay? So whatever stance you're at home, you can follow along. So when I say lead, we're gonna go this way. rear, we're going to the rear side, forward, we're just stepping, backwards, and we're gonna add in kick. All right, so we're gonna go kick, talking about the rear kick. So I'm here, let's say I'm moving, let's say the movement is forward, right? So example forward, and I say kick, just step, boom, throw the kick all the way. All right, if I say switch, we're gonna switch and throw the left kick or the lead kick, all right? Wherever you are after you land, guys, so let's say we're doing rear kick, and I've kicked all the way through. Wherever you are, just recover and keep going from there. You don't have to face me again, right? In your space, just move around that space, okay? All right, let's try this exercise together. We'll go for about close to 2 minutes, and then we'll give that a break from there. Everyone starting your stance. Recap from the start of the class. Soft knees, relax shoulders, check where your shoulders are. You should have 2 hands squared forward and weight in the balls of your feet. Okay, let's step forward. Not crossing our feet together, we're not letting it get too close. Lead side. So moving out, because I'm orthodox, to the left. Rear side. Step. Back. Forward. Kick. Step across the line. Throw the kick. Recover, and then back into your stance. Let's just say I'm here. I'll keep moving from here. Forward. Backwards. Switch. Up. And move. Forward. Lead side. Back. Rear side. Forward. Kick. Up. So again, only taking all those little points in. We have not crossing our feet, keeping stance. When I say kick, check that your foot's going across the line. That's all. All right, keep going, guys. A little bit more. Forward. Backwards. Kick. So even when I go backwards from here, I got to step across the line and then fire the kick. Lead side. Forward. Switch. Backwards. Rear side. Forward. Lead. Kick. Back to your stance. Almost there. Backwards. Forward. Let's go 30 more seconds. Switch. Backwards. Lead. Kick. Rear side. Backwards. Forward. Switch. Let's do one more kick. Lead. Back. Kick. Step across. And time. Well done, guys. All right, so just a beginner back to basics class. We're looking at what we started with, stance, right? Positioning your feet, how you should feel in the stance, what your hands are doing in the stance. We covered a little bit about the different kind of stances in Muay Thai, which you will develop in time, and you will have your own style as you go through your training. But when you're starting out, just go back to neutral stance. It's easy to defend from here, easy to move, catch, lean. You can do mostly everything from neutral stance, so it's good to get used to this position here and get comfortable in it, okay? Once we have our static movement over here, we add in footwork. We're forward, not bringing the feet too close together, backwards, same idea. Lead side, not crossing our feet like this, and rear side, moving. Adding your pivots, adding your angles afterwards. You can also speed it up next time, right? When you're moving, speed it up and check that you're not crossing your feet. Okay, then we had our markers. Positioning our markers there so that we know from our rhythm, again, we're not going stiff this way, right? Nice and soft rhythm. We're going across the line, stepping for the rear kick, and we're going switch across the line, bring our weight over for the switch kick. Okay, so you guys can practice this at home in the mirror, just watching your feet, or have some markers at home. Again, just go through the simple exercise so that you make sure that under pressure, you're always gonna practice good technique, right? If I'm here, I don't wanna be kind of like chasing someone forward and then stepping the wrong way and trying to kick. So I'm gonna start twisting my body over. So I'm here, if I'm moving, wherever I'm moving, I should be able to still pop, fire, and get my balance with all my techniques, all right? Hope you guys enjoyed today's class. I'll grab Machi, even though he's sleeping. We can say goodbye together. Thank you guys, hope you enjoyed today's class, and we're off to see the physio for Machi, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.